It's wonderful that you're here. It makes me extremely happy, and so thank you, because this means that you decided to devote all your time for self-development, let's say. So you also decided to take up responsibilities. I have been an environmental activist for 8 years, and 10 years ago I started diving. And when I started doing it, I really realized what the impact of our consumption on the planet is, how we affect the world, what our consumption does to the world. And before, I didn't know the impact on oceans, but when I started diving, I really realized how serious the problem of ghost fishing nets, how big it is. Until that moment, I didn't know the impact and how actually the fish is caught, and the fact that these nets continue killing animals. I didn't know, for example, that for 1 kilogram of shrimps, there are 9 kilograms of other fish that get into the nets. So I didn't know that there were these connections, and I didn't, let's say, feel responsible for that. But we, as human beings, need to start feeling responsible again and get committed and do something for the planet. It's something that each one of us can do. And then I saw how these animals get trapped into the nets. They die due to plastic, to rubbish. And so I decided to set these animals free. I removed the nets from the oceans. I set animals free, and I also worked to help these animals. And they somehow thanked me for that. And I also understood what I want to do in my life. I met marine protection organization, Shipharda, and I ran a lot of campaigns also in the Faroe Islands. I worked there for the protection of pilot dolphins or pilot whales, and I would like to talk about tradition here, and very often we have been talking about tradition when dealing with whales. Whales are fundamental for the oceans, and protecting them is the best thing to do, also for climate, because a whale can catch about 33 CO2 tons in all over their lives. And so protecting whales must be a priority, not only in those islands. They shouldn't be dying of hunger there if they do not catch whales. And I also was in Japan, and I saw that people there catch animals not really for tradition but for money. There are lots of dolphins that are caught and then sold to let's say delphinarians, and we kill animals either for tradition or to get money, but these animals produce over 50% of our oxygen, and they must remain in the oceans. This is an important thing to do to protect the sea and the oxygen that is produced there. Only by doing this we can improve the situation and remove, for example, the rubbish. Here is a video of a little dolphin that was caught in Japan, and after a few hours he was so tired of fighting against all the plastic that this dolphin could not go up, and so later another dolphin came back. And these animals, they somehow talk to us. They have a connection, and we as human beings have a connection with them. We need to start listening to them again. I was also in Africa, and there I worked for turtles. They are caught all around the world. They are hunted all around the world, and they sometimes die due to plastic in the oceans and on the sand on the beaches. And when I say to children in schools, and I give workshops and I ask children, do you want to see turtles? They say yes, because they really love these animals. And I'm really have a broken heart when I see it, because there are lots and lots of species that are endangered. So we need to do something. We need to, let's say, take up responsibilities. For example, in Central America, I also worked for sharks. These sharks are at the top of the food chain. But if these sharks die, there's also a problem for the ocean. The ocean dies as well, because the ocean produces our oxygen. Several sharks are also killed for parts of their bodies. And I was 7 months in Central America, and 90% of shark populations there have died. So we need to understand the connection. We need to understand why protecting this animal has a meaning, not only to protect them, but also to guarantee our survival. In the last few years, I have been experiencing several things, and I was also lucky, because I'm lucky for the fact that I'm a positive person. I can see the beautiful things even when everything is negative, or at least I try to. But there are lots of people around me, even activists, friends, are not able to do it. I'm sharing with you something which is very moving. I see that there are people who really cannot make it when they understand how negative our impact is on the world. And so they give up, they surrender. A friend of mine decided to do this in September. He decided to give up because wasn't able to live in this kind of world, and this really broke me. I felt broke. I didn't know how to deal with the situation and put all the pieces back together. So Verena and Valtreda phoned me at that time, and they told me, we would like to talk to you. They invited me to SANUSLIFE, and they told me, Maggie, as a company, as an organization, we would like to do something more to protect this world. We cannot just accept that things go wrong, that there are people like your friend, an activist that really loved the world, loved the planet, gave up to their life, to their commitment. So we want to be part of this hope that we can give to the world. And Verena told me, we would like to create something together with you. We would like to create the SANUSPLANET Foundation in order to support all the organizations that are committed and that are making efforts in this sense. Lots of people are active, are taking actions to change things and to deal with the problems that we have. I've also been making documentaries in my life, filming documentaries, and in one of my documentaries I want to show what kind of things we can do or what kind of commitment is necessary to improve the world. There are people who want to do something for the planet, want to do something positive. And this really made me feel stronger. It helped me dealing with this bad destiny, doing something, taking action. There are sometimes challenges to take up in life. It's like having a pile of shit in front of our door. We don't know what to do with all this shit. I can just feel, disappointed, in despair, or I can take this shit and use it, maybe as a fertilizer, so for something good. So I decided it was in my power to make the world a better place, to make it more beautiful. And the SANUSPLANET Foundation that we have funded this year will be one of my most, let's say, heartfelt projects. I really expect lots of beautiful things. If I had to sum up what I'm saying today in one word, I would use the word thank you. Thank you, Verena. Thank you, SANUSLIFE. Thank you, because since the very beginning, you have been working for this planet. You have been giving something back to the planet. You protect it. And I would like to thank you. You that you are sitting in front of the screen because you are listening to this project and you want to be part of this project. And I want to thank you because you believe in me, you trust me, and you trust SANUSLIFE. You believe in this vision of the future. Committing for a better future and for a better planet is something that is really important for me and that makes me feel really emotional. The important thing is also that SANUSPLANET is not just a foundation that makes donations. There are lots of organizations that need to be supported, small organizations that really need support, because they are small-sized, and so some of them do not always receive the support they really need to make the difference, to make a change. The SANUSPLANET Foundation does not only make donations, but it makes something more. If I think that we can change and support this situation and look for something better, well, that's the basis. And the other important thing is that there can be something that we can create that maybe we cannot solve completely, but we are the starting point, and we need to start, for example, from our consumption and have some positive things that we can do in this sense. So SANUSPLANET will give plenty of information and will show the connections existing between the different areas, and that you can support not only financially an organization, but also offer your know-how, your knowledge. And having these two things together, combined, is something that will change our world and will change the impact that our consumption has. If I think of 10 years ago, I didn't really know this impact. I might feel bad and think, why haven't I acted earlier, but just thinking, overthinking is not a solution. So now I really need to think and do something better. So also given information is fundamental, because we can raise awareness and help making decisions. And this is what SANUSPLANET represents. And I would really like to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you support us, because you are part of this. So thank you from thank you warmly from the bottom of my heart. And I would like to introduce some of the organizations that have been supported by SANUSLIFE for some years. One has been collaborating with SANUSLIFE for a few years now. It's the Butterfly Onlus Foundation, a non-profit organization. And now I would like to leave the floor to the organizations that will introduce themselves. So now the floor goes to Claudio Maneri of Butterfly Onlus, so that he can tell something about what they did with SANUSLIFE.
Hi everybody. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to SANUSLIFE company and its customers in the frame of SANUSPLANET project for the great support given to our foundation during the last 3 years. Our projects are mainly concerned with water supply and education, and thanks to your company's funding, we succeeded to open 8 water wells and 2 primary schools in the region of Tigray. I will leave some room now to a short video showing the great impact of this project on the local population that was used to drink polluted water from contaminated sources. Thank you for what you are doing. Thanks.
It's a wonderful project, isn't it? Now, let me introduce you to Madison Stewart. She's a friend of mine. She has been dealing with shark protections for several years. Being part of SANUSPLANET, she's going to be supported to continue her project to protect sharks in Indonesia, where there are fishermen that are almost obliged to capture sharks, but thanks to our support, we will offer an alternative, a second source of income to these fishermen so that they have another possibility instead of fishing sharks.
Hello to everybody at SANUSPLANET, and from me, Madison Stewart at Project Hear You, I have to say a massive thank you for all your support. This year's been a real struggle, what with COVID kind of locking down the world, but it's also been amazing because it's allowed us to really plan our next steps for the project, and with your support there's so much more that we can do. Looking into the future, our biggest goal is to set up the individuality of the fishermen so that even when we're not there, they can operate in tourism instead of fishing sharks. Last year, we managed to stop more than 30 shark fishing trips by bringing tourists in and replacing the income, and that saved hundreds of sharks. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, all of us here at Project Hear You, for supporting us and for allowing us to continue into the future. It not only means a lot to me, but it also means a lot to the fishermen and the individuals of the communities that we work with, because when they see people from all around the world come together and support their transition into tourism, they feel supported, they feel encouraged, and it really helps. Conservation of sharks is a very difficult thing, and for too many years people have been approaching it with a lot of anger and not really changing much. So Project Hear You, focusing on a compassionate way to approach a situation, has been not only a huge eye-opener for me, but hopefully for everybody else that gets on board. Looking into the future, we want to expand our fleet. We even want to try this approach in other countries around the world, and we want to keep showing shark fishermen that there are alternative incomes in tourism, and we want to keep saving sharks by doing this. There are so many more amazing ideas and plans and things to come, and we really couldn't do it without your support. So thank you so much, and I hope that 2021 is a great year for all of us.
Madison is great, isn't she? She is a friend of mine and we have been doing campaigns together. Now, let me introduce you to Lania, the president of Sea Shepherd France. We have had campaigns together and she is going to tell us how SANUSPLANET can support this activity.
Hi everyone, happy to talk to you guys. I'm sorry I couldn't be here today, but I wanted to thank you very much. Thank you to the SANUSPLANET community for your support. I'm the president of Sea Shepherd France and the co-director of Sea Shepherd Global. And currently Sea Shepherd France is very much involved in two major campaigns. One is to protect dolphins from the bycatch from fishing vessels in the Bay of Biscay. Thousands of dolphins die each year because of non-selective fishing methods. So Sea Shepherd France have been very much involved in raising the alarm, patrolling on the fishing areas, and alert the media and the population about what is happening. And we've managed to put that in the front line, and we got some big success in the legal field. But this is a campaign that is an ongoing campaign because the fishing industry is a very powerful lobby, and we know that this is not going to be the last year that we will have to be on site. We also have a big other campaign that's in the French island of Mayotte, where turtles are being poached. They are being killed with knives when they come on the beach to lay their eggs. So we've been patrolling the beaches of Mayotte for the past 4 years. And right now what we are looking into is to be able to patrol for a longer period of time, because we are very effective when we are on the beach. We managed to deter 10 attempts of poaching in November and December. And we've protected around 630 turtles. So that's a very intense campaign because the patrols are night patrols and they last up to 12 hours from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And it's a very exhausting campaign, but also very satisfying because we know that because we are on the beach, the turtles can lay their eggs and go back to the ocean safely. So right now the challenge for us is to be able to be in Mayotte more often and for a longer period of time. And what we are looking into right now is to send a team, a patrol team, for 2 weeks. And your donation is exactly going to help us doing that. So with around 5,000 euros, we can send a team of 8 people and patrol for about 2 weeks on the beaches, which is a direct result in saving turtles. So we are very, very grateful for you helping us doing this. And we will be publishing the reports, the campaign reports on this campaign and on dolphin bycatch campaign as well, the beginning of this year. And you guys are welcome to get more information on what we do, and why not to join us on the field. You will be very welcome. Thank you again for your help.
Well, now you know how we and you with SANUSPLANET can help protect turtles. Now, let me introduce you to Anna from Plant for the Planet. With our foundation, SANUSPLANET Foundation, we are supporting them to plant trees. Dear members of the SANUSPLANET community, thank you for your support. I'm Anna and I'm an ambassador of climate justice for Plant for the Planet. Children should not face the consequences of climate change in the future if we don't do anything now. So with the money you gave us, we can plant trees in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico that will help us capture CO2 in the atmosphere and slow down climate change. With a €1 donation, we can plant a tree in Mexico. But let me show you what is changing in the world thanks to your contribution. Everything started by a class action on climate change by Felix. And so children started planting millions of trees in every country of the world. In his school, he planted his first tree in 2007. a lot of other students did the same in other schools and in other countries of the world. Today, thanks to this, there are children all around the world taking part in Plant for the Planet together with adults, organizations and governments. We were able to plant over 14 billion trees. But this is not enough, knowing that there is plenty of space for a lot of trees in the world, and this is our goal. We want thousands of trees to be planted by lots of people. Since 2015, Plant for the Planet has its own plant area in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, over 22,500 hectares, which is over 31,500 football fields. In the past was a deforested area, whereas now it has plenty of trees with 8 different local species. And our team is made up of hundreds of collaborators, a new tree every 15 seconds. Also, maintenance makes the difference, because after planting the trees, we really take care of these small plants so that there is a very high rate of survival. It is 94%. How can I donate trees now? This might be your question. It is enough to download the app Plant for the Planet. It is free. Visit our website, plantfortheplanet.org, where you can donate trees, and you can also see the organizations that are planting trees all around the world. For example, this project of the Yucatan Peninsula is on our app, and you can also set tree target, which means that you want to have an overall target of a specific number of trees to be planted. For example, you can set 1,000, you plant a tree and you can include it there, and then another 999 trees must be planted. So you can do it, for example, with your company, set a target for your company. Thank you very much for your attention, and please start immediately to stop climate change and download our app. Now let me introduce you to a very dear friend, Anwar Abdullah. He's a trainer. He teaches people how to grow corals. I also had the chance to learn it, and that's extremely interesting. Anwar, the floor is yours.
Hello, my name is Anwar Abdullah. I am the founder of Ocean Quest Global. We have been doing coral reef rehabilitation for the past 10 years until 2020, when the pandemic starts. We're still active in around Southeast Asia. So in 2021, I am starting a new campaign, and the campaign is called Battle of the Reef. And this is the logo of the campaign. The campaign will expand our rehabilitation plan from coral reef restoration to include also the protection of coral reef. Because we are doing coral restoration, if we don't protect the reef we are restoring, then it will be damaged again. To include the protection part, we will then need to expand our equipment as well, and we have to include small boat to go in shallow water near the reef, where we can monitor people that is doing illegal fishing, like using bombs and poison. So we can identify them, and we can report them, and we can take action. For that, I hope you guys at SANUSPLANET community can help us with the requirements that we need for the equipment, and it will cost around $3,000 for the boat and $3,000 for the motor. Thank you.
Let's now give the floor to Alejandra Almeida. She's a very strong woman and she has been working for indigenous populations of Ecuador. It will be a great pleasure to listen to her. Good morning. My name is Alessandra Almeida and I'm part of the Acción Ecológica organization in Ecuador. Acción Ecológica is an organization that has been operating in Ecuador for over 34 years to protect human rights, environmental rights and the rights of nature all over the country. In the Amazon forest, we work with indigenous communities and with the rural communities that are threatened by the oil drilling activities, which have a very strong and negative impact on the environment, on the society, as well as on culture itself. Oil drilling activities, especially in the northern part of Ecuador and in the Amazon forest, polluted waters, so clean water is not available either on the surface nor at the deeper level, and also soil was affected, soil fertility was reduced, so they cannot be used anymore for agriculture. Forests, air were also polluted, and this entailed a great loss of biodiversity, which is actually the fundamental characteristics of this ecosystem. Now, the current situation of indigenous populations in this part of the country is extremely serious. They also have diseases, so there is a very high rate of cancers, and the rate is 3 times higher than the national average. With the COVID-19 pandemic last year and this year, well, the situation of the Amazon populations has been worsening, and considering that they have not been taken care of by the government, they are in a very bad condition and they lack health care and other services and assistance. The fact of living in polluted areas, well, they lack also the resources they need for tackling these problems. And apart from the work that has been done with these communities and populations, the organization wants to have some exchanges so that they can have food sovereignty in these difficult moments, and also exchange knowledge and information of the communities which are connected to, ancient medicine that was used in the past when there were pandemics. So this would mean also to revive the heritage and the historical memory of these communities, to find an alternative to face the serious situation and the difficult situation that the world is facing. Moreover, we would like to thank SANUSLIFE for the support and the trust. And we would like them to continue working to find solutions, starting from the grassroots, from the basis and the communities, and get the results we would like to achieve. Thank you. These organizations have already been helped by SANUSPLANET. So with your help, and thank you for this, there will be many other organizations, even small ones, that will become stronger and stronger, and you can be part of this change. And I'm really grateful that you believe in us. Thank you for supporting the SANUSPLANET Foundation, which will become even larger.